Morning, this is Coffee with the Summerland Kids. We're live from Cayenta, Arizona.
I'm still in Orville.
Let me get my volume up here. Yeah, so I'm in Cayenta, Arizona right now. We just made it in. Good time.
Nice. So you got about 4 or 5 more hours?
Yeah, like 4 hours probably. I mean, I'm trucking along. I'm driving down the thing, and it 65 something like that. Miles per hour style.
But it's towing pretty good for you though.
It's great. It's it's a little more because it's a fifth wheel trailer with a couple link in the bed. Feels more stable than my old. Like I had a Wells cargo trailer, a car hauler, hook up on the standard trailer style, and that thing was a little more squirrely. It felt like, but so that's cool.
Yeah, I think that the fifth wheel, being the weight's right over the axle.
Yeah.
It just makes it a little bit more stable for sure.
So you had some comments going, what's up with the Summerland kids? We're Coffee with us. We can sort of like explain our Summerlander situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we really did make it to level 4 since we got a comment from someone other than my girlfriend who supports me.
Right. I think
but yeah, they were like, what is the Summerland Kids? And I'm like, well, it started with a conversation, but it gives us the opportunity to start a conversation with one of our viewers that maybe we don't know already.
Exactly. Yeah. So and so was Aaron. And Summerland is a little town in California, a little beach town. We're like 90 miles from Los Angeles, just up the coast. We're county, and Summerland is a little beach town. And Aaron and I both went to Summerland, and we were the only two sixth grade boys. It was a really small school, and we recently reconnected after like 40 plus years. I mean, Aaron and I now have reached our middle age mark in our life, and which is crazy, but I know heart, and like Aaron says, with the power of productive play, and I mean, we still feel young, but we're freaking yeah.
We're getting a little bit of gray in our beards. I don't notice any in your beard. Maybe that's because of the beautiful ginger color that's coming through. I've always been jealous of the red-haired people because they always look so young, as old as they get.
I just got a visitor. I'm talking with a friend of mine. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I got nothing. Yeah. Just at the gas station here in Cayenta, Arizona, and last night we camped out, and it was beautiful. Navajo National Monument. It's called. My friend did, thankfully, because it's such a sweet little spot. It's like free camp. There wasn't hookups that we found, but we just did the first little loop of the campground, and place. That has a full overlook of these incredible sandstone cliffs, and it's almost like I said, a version of the Grand Canyon, almost.
No, it's amazing. Some of those pictures you shared, it just gave me the feeling of being there, and some of the things that you took close-ups of, like the house there that they had, it's just like, wow, that's a long time ago, but it's still there, and I think that's amazing.
It might have been like a rebuild, like honoring the ancient tradition of the old building style, but it gave on our property. They just basically used like the local native trees and it almost made like a teepee with the pine trees, and then they covered that with created that, so it's like you're in your own little cave.
Yeah, I would imagine in the desert you would want a little bit of insulation and mud Seems like an amazing insulator.
I know, right? I mean, totally, man. So, and then down in by the the cliffs, they had like this cliff use the natural environment of the edge of a mountain to like put yourself just under the rain to sort of semi shelter some little homes inside next to the rocks. Jason was saying, my buddy, that they did they grew blue corn, I guess, one of their crops. So back in the days, super massive varieties of corn, of which we don't see much unless you're place that's like honoring the heritage of corn. I mean, how often do you find that?
Yeah, I actually got some blue corn seeds. I didn't get a chance to sow them yet. And then a buddy of mine that's helping me with the garden, he got some rainbow corn seeds.
Oh, so cool.
Hopefully we get a chance to put those in. It's always interesting to me how modern society is like, oh, we need to do all this and do all that and have all this and have all that. But in reality, if you got a place to sleep out of the weather and a sandwich or two for the day and a cup of water, you really don't need much more. And I find that when you're at that level, when you're just, let's enjoy the sandwich and the scenery, you're a lot more happy than when you're trying to stay caught up with the Joneses next door.
Exactly. There's headphones in here. Let's see here. There's a really cool.
I am getting a little bit of statickiness on your side. I don't know if you want to try to do the refresh thing, or I can do the refresh on my side. Sometimes that helps. So I can stand by.
Okay.
Level 4 refresh.
Level 4 refresh. So you want me to snap out and snap back in? Oh, there you go. Coffee with the Summerland Kids. We're live. I'm out on the road with my dad and we are traveling through Arizona right now. Yeah.
And we're back.
We're back. Sweet. Is that any better?
Yes, it is. Now,
Slightly
Jerico, I'm doing something here for you.
Nice.
Cherry meltdown, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. So my website's been up for 20. It's amazing, but I started it in year 10. So as soon as obviously the online community was started by then, because freaking we had a web. And so I did have it done, I think, in 04, right around 04. Maybe I had a person rebuild the website, and I gave her literally all my content, old school, where she had to scan photos and do that whole old. Just needs a total revamp at some point. But what it holds the history of my work, which is cool. I stopped updating it in about 2010, but I had a good run up for 10 years prior to jumping on. I think I jumped on Facebook in 2008 and jumped into, and those really gave me an opportunity to post myself. You had to have your friend. There was some awesome I guess you could say they were like, they go to an event as a DJ, let's say, and shoot pictures, and the next day they'd put up pictures and be like, oh. So that was like a big deal to have someone be current and updated and jamming, back in the day.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's all about current events in our life. I don't follow politics much, but I did notice on my news feed that it came up that one of the guys, Donald Duck, I guess his name is, the orange juice guy, and he got arrested for banging some hooker or something, or trying to spread the money out. But I could care less. I mean, to be honest, I still think that is a very interesting thing when we discuss current events and stuff like Donald Duck
I
is
know.
president. Come on.
Donald Duck, exactly. On that note, we got in. It was still light out, and we were having a conversation at the picnic table. Our camp neighbor comes over and says, "Hey, do you guys mind not talking politics?" They can hear us, and my dad's like, "I totally get you," and so we chilled out. We chilled out off the conversation and changed our subject, and then we moved. We had two camping spots side by side, so we moved to an adjacent picnic table to keep our discussion going. But it's if you're neighbor and you're totally in line with your bro on your political conversation, other people may not be in alignment with it, or they may be in agreement with it, but they just don't want to talk about it right now. So it's wild.
Oh, to me, that's the worst. I mean, if we're having a we're looking at the same thing a little differently. I think that's what America's about, is we can say, okay, we're having a difference of opinion, but let's discuss it. I mean, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And when the world says, if you're not listening to me, I don't want to hear your side of the story, everything just stops.
Yeah. Right.
Everything stops. I mean,
yeah.
Even just two bros, talking. If I'm not paying attention to your, camping story and how you had to move, then what's the point of having a conversation?
Yeah.
If I just want to talk about my headband and how cool my tie is, and you're like, hey, well, I don't want to hear about your tie. Then where's the conversation?
Yeah. Let's not talk fashion right now, bro.
Yeah, there's no talk fashion here.
Yeah, man. So, anyways, yeah. So just you're on the Native American land because you're on the. I think it's definitely reservation because it's Navajo National Monument, and it's it's not a national monument, and then I think that's why it's free camping, which is awesome. Like you're in a sacred space, and you're not supposed to gather any firewood. You feel like you're almost like in a church environment. Really, that's the way I felt about it because the surroundings are so beautiful. I think it'd be comparable to being like in an ancient village of sorts that's hundreds of years old, and there's still people. Where you definitely have a feeling that you're in someone else's place. Very respectful, but you're a tourist and you're sightseeing. You're taking pictures, which is super cool. It's an interesting, perspective to be.
Absolutely. I mean, I've always considered church per se as a communion, whether it's me and my understanding of God, if you will, or even just two people talking about what their thoughts are about God or universe or spirituality or tradition. I think that's so important. I mean, I go to churches, they have donuts, and I can't help myself. So it's like they have donuts, I'm showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's real important for me to get donuts. But as far as, the culture of different churches, it really kind of throws me for a loop because, they're saying they're God Christian people, but I go across town and they're God Christian people, but they have some beef between each other, and it goes way back, way pre-Roman, all the way back to Greeks and the pantheons and Egyptians and even pre-Egyptian.
It's amazing.
Zoroastrian, ancient Native American, ancient Russian, and these are all part of everybody's modern heritage that we forget what happened in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool that we can sit here and talk about Summerland in our past and at least, open a dialogue about, hey, what did we do back when we were kids? It was so much fun.
I know, exactly. I mean, we were born in like 1970, 1971, and might as well been 1871. I mean, our community wasn't super old because it was founded here, but it may have been 1890s. I'm just gonna guess of Summerland. And then the founder guy decided he had was it a hog farm or a spiritualist community, and he decided to do, which is cool and an interesting. Oh, nice, sweet.
And real estate.
Oh, we've got the researcher talking. Go ahead.
Fact checker. Thank you.
1883.
Spiritualist and real estate speculator H.L. Williams founded the town of Summerland.
Nice.
And in 1888, he divided the land tract on a modern sloping hill.
Sweet.
It goes on.
That's awesome.
So
no, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's great. So we were just born like 80 years later, generalizing, but less than 100 years after the founding.
80 years. So just a generation or two.
Yeah, and then we were there. Yeah. So let's mention our sponsors. We're going to wrap our of the on the road side of things.
Yeah, we got a road show, so sponsored by the Native Americans.
Yeah, sponsored
by
Native Americans. Thank you guys so much.
Well, cool. We made it. Episode 30. You're on the road, so I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Jerico,
yeah. Forward to tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Appreciate
that. Is such a level to make the show, even though you're on the road.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm Jerico Woggon. This is Aaron Riggs. We're Coffee with the Summer. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and have a peaceful day.
Ta-ta for now.
And there's